All right, you guys, today we are going to be doing a CB antenna for the Jeep Gladiator. Before, as you knew, we had the antenna mount that went on the rear of the door on the JL behind the spare tire, and I had made a custom bracket. I've basically taken some of the same parts, and this is what we're going to do here. We are going to be getting a 2-inch install on this, but our main thing is we do have to fit below our garage door. Where this is sitting now, I've got a measuring tape here. And as you can see, to safely clear, we've got about 4.5, 5 inches until we would hit anything. I've seen a couple online that have little tiny metal pieces that are coming out here and mounting it here, taking it straight up, but that would require me to get a new antenna of a different height. We've seen some people that have mounted them up on that front bumper on the factory steel using that little tiny hole. Not my favorite solution. One of the other options that we had thought of was, since we have the bed cover on, is just for separate trips, is we were going to mount something possibly like right in this area or right on the back side, and that would mount in, so when we went on trips we could just basically have the cover flipped back and that antenna would come out. But we didn't like the fact of having to leave this open, as sometimes we do get some mud being thrown around, so we were really trying to find a seamless solution. One of the guys online that I talked with, he actually drilled right through this upper bed part and drilled it on, which was a one thing I had highly considered, but I wasn't sure how well this metal was going to do over time with the beating of the antenna going back and forth on the trails. So what I did is I found out, and I'm going to see if I can get the view down here, is with my antenna mount, and this is just a standard mount for any vehicle that we had used on the JL. If you see those 3 little humps, if I actually go to the second one up, it fits over perfectly. I can drill the holes in from the wheel side, and when we come back up here to the top, as you see, we've got plenty of space to clear. We've actually got about 3.5 inches to clear over that, which means if I do go up to 37s on my wife's vehicle, that we will be able to do that. So to start doing that today, we're going to come down in here, and inside this clip, we're going to pull that little pin, which is this little guy, and this is the little pry tool, and we're going to end up taking these 3 screws out just to get a little bit more access behind this, and we're going to pull on that. From there, I'm going to get up on the back side, and we're going to drill holes going out this way. I don't know how much of that I'm going to be able to get on film or even try, but I will try to get up there in there with the after picture to show you kind of where I've done it. The way that the wheel well is we don't have access to it from the bed, so it will be up on that underside. I did get under there, there's not any wires or anything. Let me pull this out real quick and I'll show you that mount that we are using. Again, if you did not watch the JL video, it's the same. This is the standard one they use for a lot of like your rear view mirrors on truckers. It just doesn't have the second piece that normally tightens down on it. And then I use one of the stiff springs just so it doesn't get too much rotation, but if we do hit a tree or anything like that, it will bend and flex a little bit. Alright, so after getting those 3 screws out, there was one more small tablet here, or not tablet, tab, and this one here I was able to separate. Looking up here at the back side, as you can see, I was able to get the access right there, and there's the 2 holes that I drilled. And we're going to drop that in and put the bolts on. Alright, we have this mounted. As you can see, it stands up just a little taller, just like we wanted, with a little bit of clearance, but it will still clear the garage. If I can sneak the view in here, as you can see, it is right over that second hump like we had talked about, using that mount. And now we'll get it from the underside. As you can see, there's just the 2 bolts coming through, and we're going to end up just running our wire right to it and looping it down through. Alright, so the second phase of this is going to be running the wire, which we're just going to run down and then up and into here. We are going to be taking the carpet out to do rafter liner, so make sure to stay tuned for that video. It's going to be coming up probably in the next few weeks. But just like we did on the JL, we're going to bring that wire in down through here up underneath the seat, and up over here we're going to add in the 12-volt socket like we did on the JL. So you can click that video. It fits in the exact same way. That way when we're off-roading we can use a removable radio, so it's not always in here. but it's in there when we need it. We also use the Jeep Unique attachment for the handlebar that allows us to have 2 radios, our CB here, and then a little walkie-talkie there, just for simple communication. Nothing different than what we did on the JL video, so I'm not going to go into all those details for you guys, but if you do have questions, just ask.